Well, he got mold. As soon as he got in there, he kind of just got. Did I say that right?
You always
Mold?
say that shit.
Because they say
I don't know if you guys watch that,
Yeah.
but I'll be honest, I've never seen that in my whole life.
Man, amateur, how you guys doing? We're finally in person. I got Frank right here.
What up, my boy?
What's up, bro?
First off, what do you even think of the card itself, bro?
Honestly, it was dry. It was very dry. I'm not gonna lie. It was not good.
I guess I can say it was a little more anticipated. Like, I
Yeah.
expected more out of the fights, but I would say the outcome was kind of sour.
Yeah.
I guess it was just super high expectation, and after, like, the first two fights that we started in our predictions, it kind of just didn't look like the card was going to be very good. For example, to start off, Anthony Smith versus Magomed Ankalaev. I had good anticipation for this fight just because we got a vet versus a dude on a really hot streak. But, I mean, if you want to break it down to them, what kind of just happened?
Along with being, like, getting outclassed, it seemed like Anthony Smith didn't want to be there. It just seemed like he was just out of it. Like,
I mean, his walkout and everything, it made it seem good, but you're right. I feel like as soon as he started fighting, it didn't. Obviously, I feel like he just threw everything he could, and it wasn't working, so he kind of just gave up. And, I mean, according to him and the announcers and everything, he broke his leg in the first round with, like, the kick or something. If that's true, the second round, I mean, that kind of explains the second round, because the second round, he looked like he did not want to be there.
He took him down and just dominated him.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to get his own. Anthony Smith tried to get his own takedown, of himself. It kind of just reversed on him, and he was just taking the blunt of a lot of ground and pound shots, and they just ended up calling the fight. So that's kind of why, like, it translates to the fight being kind of ass.
Yeah, honestly.
Other than that, though, like,
the only other thing too I was gonna say, in the post-fight interview, he did say he was like, "How many fights do I gotta win?"
mm-hmm.
I think he definitely should get that title shot.
Who, Ankalaev? Oh, for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what, a 9 or 10 fight win streak for him.
Yeah.
And I think 5 right now is low-key kind of stacked. Honestly, anybody in that top 5 will give him a fight, whether it's Jan, Rakic, but you can't even put Yuri or Glover right now because they're about to rematch. So
yeah.
If you were him, would you wait for a title fight, or would you just try to compete with anybody in that?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't. I mean, he's on a 9-win streak. I feel like he's been dominating these guys. I think he deserves a shot.
So you would just sit back and wait?
I would.
I feel like that's accurate just for him, just because of how dangerous the division is.
Yeah.
It's hard to take chances in that kind of division. So if I was him, I'd probably wait for that shot, but we'll see what happens.
Moving on, we had Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Pavlovich.
It's Pavlovich.
Pavlovich.
It's like P-A-V and then L, so Pavlovich.
Frank's half Russian.
Nah.
Probably the one I was most anticipating was the Derrick Lewis versus Sergey.
Pavlovich.
Pavlovich.
Yeah.
That one, man. I mean, who expected that? Like, who expected that outcome? I wanted to see, like, what did you think about it?
So, I took what I have, right? So, what do we know so far from that fight?
Yeah.
Derrick Lewis, what did I say in my predictions? He just looks a little slow. Like, I feel like he has that power. I feel like he'll never lose that power. But he's just a step slow when it comes to these other guys in that weight class. Heavyweights are not like they used to be. They're not just slow meatheads. Like, it's a lot more technical now. And even though it was a early stoppage, I'll agree it was an early stoppage. Derrick Lewis was like he definitely could get up and fight. If it wasn't going to happen there, it was going to happen later. He was already wobbled a couple times. Like, no matter what you guys say, Derrick Lewis got wobbled twice last night, and like within a minute of that round.
I mean, the guy he fought to wasn't a slouch. I mean, that dude was pretty good. So
yeah, Sergey is on 15-1, 16-1 now. Yeah.
And I think I got caught up in the hype for my prediction. So anybody that did bet on him, my bad. But I got caught up in the Houston and Texas hype. So.
And I think, speaking of Houston and Texas, Derrick Lewis has literally lost every fight in his home state.
Yeah.
Which has to be, like, a little, not embarrassing, but, like, man, imagine coming home every day. You're just like, yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out, too, him walking out, he was drenching in sweat. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
And I felt like maybe it was the nerves that got to him because he was literally sweating.
I think it was just It's Houston. It's hot. It's a packed arena.
True.
You know, you're training before you go out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably a little combination of that, but nah, I wouldn't say that's kind of like what was dictating like how he was acting and how he was fighting. But we know what he did. I mean, we seen what he had to offer, and I honestly didn't feel like it was gonna be enough to take out Sergey, and we just got kind of just a cut decision. But it was probably gonna be that within the fourth round, whatever it was, or the third round.
Yeah.
With a win like that, like, you know, over Derrick Lewis, what do you think Sergey should try to push forward next? A title fight, a contender fight?
Definitely not a title fight. I think that he should get somebody in that top 5.
And
definitely.
If you could see him against anybody in that top 5, who would it be?
Alexander Volkov. Probably.
Volkov?
Yeah, I could see them fighting. That would be a good one.
I think it'd be cool just because, like, the height difference.
Yeah.
I like seeing the shorter guys go against the bigger guys. Yeah. Not too sure what Derrick Lewis is going to try to do after this. Obviously, he's going to get fights, you know, just because of his name. But when it comes to title pictures, I don't think there's another chance of bringing him back. At this point, it's going to be straight, you know, banger fights. And I guess we're just going to have to accept that and go from here. One of my most anticipated fights, pretty much of the whole month, Kai Kara-France versus Brandon Moreno. That fight did deliver. I'll give them that. Unfortunately, my pick lost due to a leg kick. Not to the leg, though, actually to the body. It was super unexpected. I didn't really think, like, Brandon had that in him.
Yeah.
But based off those first 2 rounds, I'll even say Brandon's a better fighter. You know,
yeah.
I think he was losing that 3rd round before, you know, Kai Kara-France got caught with the body shot.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he definitely looks like he's been in there, like, especially fighting for a belt. Like, he looks so cool, calm, collected, you know?
Yeah, I feel like he's been in these situations time and time again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and seeing the way he out kind of classed him with the countering and not getting hit. And then that body hit, man, I mean, it was clean.
Yeah.
It was really clean.
I heard the noise on that
like,
thing. That was nice, yeah. And that's one weapon that not a lot of fighters have and use. And Brandon was able to incorporate that and put away a really tough opponent, I think. I thought Kai Kara-France was really up next.
Yeah, me too.
And I thought he actually was going to be able to get a chance to get a belt and have a little reign. But, yeah, no. Brandon shut all that down. And I'm a fan of Brandon, so I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Something that kind of threw me off, though, about last night was kind of that post-fight press conference. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I'll be honest, I've never seen that in my whole life.
I think it happened with Bisping and Luke Rockhold.
No, Robert Whittaker. But it was like...
Oh, yeah, Robert Whittaker, and it was crazy.
But Bisping knew how to play it off more. You know what I'm saying? This one was just, like, super forced. Like, I mean, to kind of break down what happened, you know, Brandon wins the fight. He goes, you know, talking on the mic. Obviously, they're going to talk about him fighting Figgy again. And, you know, they bring Figgy into the cage. And Figgy does not speak English, guys.
Yeah.
So Figgy comes in the cage, mean-mugging everybody, and then is super cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we fight, brother. We go to Brazil. I'm just like, okay, bro. It kind of just threw me off. Brandon looks scared. He's, like, sitting there apologizing to another grown man. Like, whatever I did to you, I'm sorry, my friend. Like, bro, you're good. You just want to fight. I don't know. Like I said, it kind of threw me off, but I just kind of want to let y'all know. Like, I don't know what they trying to do with that fight. I don't know if it's going to be in Mexico or Brazil, but I guess I'm ready to watch them fight a 4th time. Yeah. What do you think?
You know, and I was gonna ask you, too, like, what you thought, but I feel, honestly, man, like, he deserves the 4th.
Yes.
I'm going to just off top. He deserves to fight him again. Do I want to watch it? No. I'll be right.
And that's the sad part,
and
bro. That is sad, bro.
That is true.
That's how shallow the flyweight division is, bro. Like, these dudes have fought 4 times in the past 4 years, bro. Yeah. They need to bring Demetrius Johnson back.
Honestly, I was just saying, what do you think is next for Kai Kara-France?
I feel like it's just too early to say. I honestly don't know the division that well, so I'm not even going to speak on it. Obviously, I want to see him get back in there soon, but I don't have an opponent in mind.
Yeah. Moving on to the main event, we had Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. I mean, bro, this one was a banger. I'm not gonna lie.
Not bad, low key.
It was really good. You know, Juliana Pena. You know, she fights out of Chicago. You know, we're from Chicago, so you know what I'm saying. We gotta show love to her. You know, and plus, you know, her being Mexican too, so.
I'll tell you one thing. It wasn't expected, that fight. I kind of was looking for. I was thinking, Amanda was gonna get the finish pretty early on.
Yeah.
But, dude, Juliana is a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Although she lost last night, lots of props to her, man. She really has a fighting spirit. Even off her back, the fight, she's throwing up submissions.
Yeah.
She's giving Amanda a real life hard time, bro.
The fight kind of reminded me of Conor versus Nate.
It kind of reminded me of like a Charles Oliveira fight.
Yeah, that too.
Except for Charles is.
She ends up winning.
Yeah. But bro, Amanda looked different. I told you guys she looked different in her body, the way her muscles looked, the way she looked very slim, she looked very fast, she looked very smart, calculated, precise.
She was serious.
It was really fun to watch, and it just showed she did bro. There's no way she's not the greatest woman fighter of all time.
Yeah.
And she's probably number one on the pound for pound list again. Overall, bro, that card for sure was the fight of the night.
Yeah, definitely.
That fight for sure was fight of the night. So when you were watching the fight, is there any round that kind of scared you for Amanda Nunes?
I want to say I think it was the second round.
Do you know what was happening?
Yeah, she was on top of her and she I think almost got into an armbar. Her arm was stretched back like this.
Bro, yeah.
And I was like, no. And I was like, let's go. And then
I seen that almost 3 or 4 times. And I didn't understand what Amanda was doing. I thought she was a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but she looked a little lost out there, not to be honest. But other than that, she out-scrambled her. She outworked her. She took her down more. She dropped her numerous times. I'll tell you one thing. Juliana has no hands.
I was going to say that too, but I was going to ask you, did you feel like she wasn't, going for the kill?
It felt like she was scared of her submission game.
No. After she hit her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. She didn't want to,
It felt like she was scared of her submission game, and that took me by surprise. I think the first time she knocked her down was in the second round. And I was like, okay, she lets her up. And then the second time, she let her up way too easy. Yeah. And I was like, man, isn't she a black belt herself? But as you can see, Juliana is very tough from the ground, bro. So, I get the game plan. But, yeah, it was a little confusing seeing her not chase that knockdown.
Yeah.
Overall, though, bro, it was a really good performance for Amanda. It's a great performance for her legacy. And she truly does solidify herself as the greatest female fighter of all time. Yeah,
she's definitely a dog, and she's a dog. And I was just I could not looking at paper. I know you betted on her too, and we both predicted her to win. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't bet against her, just because she has, she's the GOAT. So yeah, shout out to Amanda Nunes.
If you guys were watching the fights yesterday, honestly, I want to hear what you guys think about the fights. Is there any fight that you expected that to happen or not expect? Is there anybody you had that you wanted to win last night that lost? Or is there any of your picks that won last night? So if you guys want to, let us know in the comments. Before we get up out of here, though, next week is going to be Jamal Hill versus Thiago Santos. I really like Jamal Hill. Yeah. I think he has one loss to Paul Craig. Yeah. And the crazy thing about Paul Craig has beat Ankalaev. Yeah. He's given him his only loss, and he's given Jamal Hill his only loss. Yep. And Paul Craig just got fucking blasted by some bogus ass nobody. Yeah. So besides that, Jamal Hill versus Thiago Santos, that's gonna be a really, really good fight. Two guys who are very durable, so we're looking at a 5-round war. Yeah. Check our predictions on our TikTok. My boy's gonna throw our TikTok name right here. You guys can check that out anytime you want. We drop content, different kind of content. It's coming out a little sooner than it is on YouTube. But yeah, don't miss our review and our predictions on that fight. And like I said in the last video, anybody's first comment on this video is getting $10 sent to their Cash App. Make sure you let us know that you got the Cash App, so everybody else in the comments doesn't know that it's food. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and thank you guys for tuning in. See y'all later.